I had been to church mostly on like Easter and Christmas. That was pretty much it. So I had somewhat of an understanding. I've kind of thought people who believed in it fully were a bit crazy. It just wasn't really for me because it didn't make sense to me. I definitely thought of God as being a lot more judgmental. I felt like I had to be a perfect presentation of myself when I talked to him. My idea of him was, I guess, someone who really just mostly condemned people. My parents got a divorce the end of my freshman year. They were back in the dating pool, so they were going on dates, and no one really noticed if I was coming home at like 3 or 4, so I had this just new abundance of freedom that I had no idea what to do with. I also, of course, was feeling lots of emotions that I wasn't really acknowledging, and my friend group had fallen apart the year before. I started to party a lot, and I kind of thought that's where I was gonna get my happiness from, and then it was leaving me with complete emptiness, and I was really, really confused of why that was happening. It was really difficult to be alone because my thoughts were just constantly racing and there was no distractions from what was going on inside of my head. Why am I here? Like, why do I exist? And I couldn't answer those questions. I kind of shifted out of that a bit because I was going to school again, I had lots of distractions, and I started to really place my worth and fulfillment in school and soccer. I thought, okay, this is where I'm gonna find this satisfaction that I've been missing and craving, and I really dug into studying hard, getting good grades, and performing well in soccer. That, of course, led to me being completely crushed and heartbroken if anything went wrong, or if I got a bad grade on like a homework. My entire world was just shattered because that's where all of my worth and fulfillment was. I really started to put all my focus on getting committed and being recruited to a college. So I was making highlight reels, I was going to camps, I went to a Columbia ID camp, and that's where they noticed me, and I was completely ecstatic. This is where I'm gonna finally see my fulfillment and feel satisfied. I'm going to a top university, I'm playing D1 soccer, I have a good friend group. What in my life is missing? What am I doing wrong? My friend Reese had mentioned Young Life to me and said, I'm going to this really cool summer camp, I think you should come. I was very fresh off of getting everything I thought I wanted and still being left empty. And it was not even a month later that I went to Young Life. At Young Life, people definitely were teaching me about God, but not in a way that was overpowering or scary at all. It was definitely something I was scared of because I didn't know anything about it. I was getting that feeling of satisfaction and fulfillment from not doing anything. Like it wasn't anything that I was achieving or any score I was getting. I was just being there. And I was just always being told of how much I was loved and how I was a masterpiece. Not that people loved what I was doing or what I was accomplishing, but loving just me, like just Ashlyn. As I was learning more and more about God, the questions that I'd constantly been asking myself of what's my purpose, why am I here, started to be answered. And it was the third night of camp that it all kind of just clicked. I decided that I wanted to commit my life to Christ and I wanted to live with God in my life. And I didn't really know what, I guess, a life with Christ had in store. I was definitely scared, but the feeling of fulfillment was something I did not want to lose. And the idea that I had a purpose was something I didn't want to lose. Committing to God, I felt fulfilled, I felt loved, I felt heard. I still, of course, play soccer and I love soccer and I love school, I love to learn, but it's not the focus of my life. It's not the center of my life, and it's not where I place my worth anymore. God is my main identity and He's my center, and those are just things that I happen to do. He's just someone I can turn to, and I talk to him as more of a friend. I talk to him. I'm at my worst or when I'm at my best. He's just always there.